We are continuing with function notation with video 3.8. We're going to do some problem solving with functions. So get your notes ready. Make sure you write down any questions you have if they come up while you're writing your notes down. So just some reminders before we get going. Remember that using function notation helps us to evaluate functions for certain values. The underlying base of all of this is input and output, so we can graph functions and we can know what the domain and range are, what the values are. So using function notation with other functions, that's the first thing we're going to do. Sometimes you will see this. And I know yesterday we had two functions and we added them together and we substituted values. Sometimes you won't be given it. Sometimes you'll see this that says f of g of x. That's what this says. Evaluate for f of g of x. And we're given f of x and we're given g of x. So all you have to do is rewrite. We have f of x equals 2x minus 4. We'll rewrite this as f of g of x equals 2, and now where I see my x, where I would have replaced x yesterday with a value or a number, I'm going to replace it with this entire expression of g of x. So I'm going to plug in 3x plus 5 and then continue writing the rest of the function, which is minus 4. And now all I have to do is the distributive property, so I have f of g of x equals 6x plus 10 minus 4, and I will continue simplifying that, so I get f of g of x is equal to 6x plus 6. So it looks complicated, but it really is not that bad once you're just plugging in an expression and evaluating instead of plugging in one number and evaluating. And now let's flip it. Let's evaluate for g of f of x. And I want you to make a prediction whether you think our result will be equal to f of g of x or whether it will be different. So make your prediction. Okay, now let's solve. So we have g of f of x is equal to 3, because now I'm going to start with g of x, and now I'm going to replace the x with f of x. So 2x minus 4 plus 5, because I still have the plus 5 in this function up here. And I'm going to distribute, and I get g of f of x equals 6x minus 12 plus 5. And I'm going to continue simplifying this, so I get g of f of x equals 6x minus 7. So it's not exactly the same, but it's pretty close with our 6x. We just have a different constant over there. The next skill you're going to have to be able to do is solve a function in a context. So we did this in our first unit a little bit, and we're going to continue working with it in this unit that we're in now. So just get this word problem down, and then we'll solve it together. So Elaine can do 3 homework assignments per hour. 3 homework assignments per hour. She already has 2 completed. Write a function rule to model her rate of work in terms of work W and hours H. So let's do that first. So we're looking at how many homework assignments she can complete per hour. So we're going to say W is work, and work is equal to 3 per hour, but she already has 2 done. So W equals 3H plus 2. However many assignments she has done is equal to 3 assignments per hour plus the 2 she already has done. And now you need to evaluate this rule to see how long it will take her to have 8 completed assignments. So 8 corresponds to W here. So we're going to say 8 is equal to 3H plus 2, and we'll just solve for H. So we're going to take away 2 from both sides. We get 6 equals 3H, divide by 3. So it will take her 2 hours to have 8 assignments completed, and you need to put that in a full sentence. It will take Elaine 2 hours to have 8 assignments completed. That one was a pretty simple context. we're going to work with more complicated ones tomorrow to make sure you're comfortable with writing your function rules and evaluating them. We're also going to work on filling out tables with our function rules and graphing them. So be ready for that when you come into class tomorrow. For your hot question, I want you to take these two functions and evaluate for f of g of x. Put in your hot question doc f of g of x equals whatever you evaluate it to be. Write down any questions you have on this, and we'll go over them tomorrow before we start our in-class practice.